The Weaver of Whispers, The Journey Through the Silver Mist. Part 1. The Invitation to Stillness. The world you leave behind is loud, full of sharp edges and the ticking of clocks, but here, in the space between breaths, the air smells of wild lavender and ancient parchment. Imagine, if you will, a path made of smooth, moonlight-colored stones. You are standing at the edge of the great velvet forest, where the trees do not rustle. They hum. There is no rush here. Time in this realm doesn't move in a straight line. It curls like the smoke from a distant friendly chimney. You are here to find the Weaver, the one who gathers the stray thoughts of the world and turns them into stars. The valley of luminescent ferns. As you walk down the mossy path, your footsteps are silent. The ground feels like a thick hand-woven rug beneath your feet. To your left, a small stream flows, not with water, but with liquid starlight. It makes a sound like tiny silver bells ringing far, far away. The air. It is perfectly cool, the kind of cool that makes you want to wrap yourself in a heavy knitted blanket. The light. There is no sun here, only a permanent, soft twilight the color of a bruised plum. The scent, a mix of cedarwood and dried rose petals. You meet a guide. He is a tall, slender heron wearing a waistcoat made of spider silk. He doesn't speak with his beak. He speaks directly to your mind in a voice that sounds like honey pouring from a jar. You've carried those heavy thoughts for a long time, the heron whispers. Leave them on this riverbank. They are too heavy for where we are going. The Weaver only accepts the light things. One by one, you imagine your worries as small grey pebbles. You drop them into the starlight stream. Splash. One for the work left undone. Splash. One for the uncertainty of tomorrow. Watch them sink. Watch them turn into golden fish and swim away. The archive of dreams. You reach a library that has no walls. The shelves are the branches of giant willow trees, and the books are glowing lanterns hanging from the twigs. Each lantern holds a story that hasn't been told yet. As you walk through this glowing corridor, your eyes grow heavy. The heron leads you to a chair made of soft white clouds. Rest for a moment, he says. The Weaver is almost ready. But first, you must learn the rhythm of the forest. Listen to the trees. They breathe in and out, in and out. The entire forest expands and contracts with you. You are not a visitor here. You are a part of the tapestry. As you leave the archive of dreams, the heron bows his head and disappears into the mist, leaving you at the gates of a garden that has no beginning and no end. This is the Garden of Floating Silhouettes. Here, the laws of gravity have grown tired and decided to rest. Everything in this garden floats a few inches off the ground. Huge violet peonies drift through the air like slow-moving clouds. Their petals are as soft as velvet, and as they brush against each other, they release a fine golden dust that sparkles in the twilight. You find yourself walking not on soil, but on a path of compressed stardust that feels like walking on a sponge. The Fountain of Echoes. In the center of the garden stands a fountain made of translucent glass. The water inside doesn't fall. It rises in slow, rhythmic pulses. As you approach, you hear the voices of your favorite memories. Not the loud ones, but the quiet ones. The smell of clean sheets dried in the sun. The warmth of a cup of tea between your palms. Each memory is a silhouette floating in the air. You reach out and touch, one a memory of a childhood summer. It feels warm, like a sunbeam. You realize that you don't need to hold on to these memories tightly. They are part of the air you breathe. They are safe here. The Sleepwalker's Bridge. To exit the garden, you must cross a bridge made entirely of moonlight. It looks fragile, but as you step onto it, it feels firmer than any stone. Below the bridge, a river of fog flows silently. The fog is thick and white, like whipped cream. With every step you take on the bridge, your body feels lighter. Your toes, your ankles, your calves, they are becoming as light as the floating peonies. By the time you reach the middle of the bridge, you feel as though you are made of nothing but breath and light. The garden fades behind you, turning into a soft purple blur. As you move toward the final destination, the bridge leads you to the highest point of this realm, the Observatory of Infinite Calm. It is a circular tower made of polished opal. There are no stairs, only a gentle incline that winds upward like a spiral shell. At the very top, you finally meet the Weaver. They are not a person, but a presence, a shimmering entity made of soft blue light, sitting before a loom that spans the entire horizon. The threads on the loom are the thoughts and dreams of every living thing. The great unweaving. The Weaver looks at you with eyes that are like deep, still pools of water. They beckon you to sit on a pile of silken cushions. It is time, the Weaver whispers. The voice is like the sound of a distant ocean. The Weaver begins to unweave the day. They take the thread of your morning, the thread of your afternoon, and the thread of your evening. One by one, they pull them gently from the fabric of your mind. The stress of the commute, unwoven. The noise of the city, unwoven. The weight of your name and your responsibilities, unwoven. You are no longer a person with a list of things to do. You are simply a witness to the stars. The weaver takes these unwoven threads and tosses them into the sky. They don't fall. They turn into new constellations. The final descent into sleep. The observatory begins to dim. The blue light of the weaver softens into a deep, comforting indigo. The cushions beneath you begin to feel like a warm, weightless cloud. The journey is complete, the weaver says, and their voice is now just a hum, vibrating in your chest. There is nothing left to solve. There is nothing left to remember. The world is tucked in, and so are you. The tower begins to dissolve into a soft, dark mist. But you aren't falling, you are being cradled. The mist is warm, scentless, and perfectly silent. You are drifting now, a single spark in a vast, dark and beautiful universe. The stars above are blinking slowly in time with your heartbeat. Lower and lower,